Good evening, everybody. How are we this fine FDA-filled evening? I have hit live. I am not seeing my count go up, but I know some of you are there. All right. 1 second. Hold on, guys.
You have a call from
Dave Herman.
Press 1 to answer the call. Press 2 to send the call.
Good evening to Mr. Dave Herman. How are you this fine evening?
Hi, Dr. Connors. How are you? You're practicing medicine this evening?
Yeah, that's it. I'm actually getting ready to take some couple grams of white manga.
Well, I was hoping you were doing psychiatry. You could give me a hand, but what the heck?
All right, well, I'll do my best. What you need?
Oh, what would you like to chat about?
Well, as you know, and some are well aware, there's a lot going on within the industry. I wouldn't really say it's consumer-based fear at all. My theory is it's a wicked witch hunt. I don't want to get too deep into all that, but I would like to hear what you have to say about all this and give you this platform to I guess I'd like to have you start with that saying that you said the other day, the quote.
Oh, the one on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. It's got to remember it for a minute, but it comes from a Protestant minister from Nazi Germany, Pastor Martin Niemöller. And it's a famous quote. And he ended up in a camp for 7 years. Before that happened, he said, "First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I did not speak out because I was not a Catholic. Then they came for the socialists, the trade unionists, and then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out." That defines pretty much where I think a lot of our issues are today. We have some well-intentioned people, good-hearted, and they want all the right things. And they believe that the best thing they can do is sit on the sidelines and watch this storm go by. That if they're just quiet enough and hide just enough that FDA, DEA, CDC, HHS, and every three-letter agency you can imagine will leave them alone, and they won't. It's not going to happen. What we believe is that we're on the front lines of a very serious fight for the supplement industry, not just for Kratom. What I said the other night was that this was like taking a bazooka to a fly, and it didn't make much sense unless you look at the big picture. The homeopathic folks are under attack right now. And if you go back to 1994, Congress enacted the DSHEA Act, D-S-H-E-A, I think that's the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. And that was because there was a big fight at the time about who and how supplements could be controlled. Congress decided that the FDA didn't need to control the supplement business. And so the DSHEA Act protected it. Ever since then, they've kind of had a burr in their saddle, and they want to control it. And we are on that fight. It's on a city, state, federal level, and they actually tried to ban us last year, and everyone's familiar with that, and it was rescinded. And after the October rescinding of the ban on Kratom, our government is charged with going back and telling the truth, telling all the police officers and beat cops and judges and advocates that they rescinded the ban, and it was not a drug of concern, and it wasn't, the issue they were pretending it to be. They haven't done any of that. They've just lied. So we're looking at a situation where a small supplement that helps a lot of people, Kratom, is on the thrust of being banned and is on the front lines of a big fight. And this fight is for every supplement you can think of, and it requires everyone all hands on deck. A lot of folks seem to think that if their packaging is good, if their labeling is correct, if they watch the manufacturing, that they'll be free from this. Well, That's the act of a responsible citizen, and that should be done. But that doesn't mean they're going to back off. We've tried very hard to let them see that the leaf and the powder are not something they should touch in any shape, way, or form. And some regulatory requirements may exist for adulterations, for tinctures. We want to be sure the product isn't overloaded, or like the case in Sweden with the Kratom that killed people, laced with tramadol. Yeah. So there are some protections they can provide, but the conversation has to turn from ban to proper regulation. And in the meantime, they're raiding all over the country. They're trying to roll it up from the bottom because they learned from failing in their ban last year that if they can get enough cities, enough states, enough counties to ban Kratom, then they're going to be in control. And they won't have to worry about it on the federal level too awful much. That's kind of an overview of what's going on. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's pretty clear to me.
Okay.
We need to everybody out there just needs to get involved. They need to start spreading the truth of what this is, and that the truth is that this is nothing but a complete witch hunt. You know, I don't want to get into shit, and I'm not going to. I don't want to make this a huge, long podcast. I mean, we can. I don't mind having some people call in and giving a testimony and saying a piece, a quick piece. We want to keep it quick. If people want to come in, we'll keep it quick. Dave, if you have anything else to say, that's great. If not, I mean, we've had some long talks, and I don't know what else you'd want to hit on the base of this, but we definitely need support, and we need legislation to know. And the only way that that's going to happen is...
Well, I'll give you a last fact, and please, folks, be calm. We think that if a notice of intent to ban comes out with the proper legal care, meaning lawyers, we're going to be able to make this last 2 to 4 years, and during that time, the science is on our side. The biggest argument we have with any of this, and why we think it's a witch hunt, why we think they're rolling us up like a domino, is that the science is completely on our side. A hard, cold number. To fight them with lawyers is going to take a low of $500,000 and a high of $1 million, because that's what the law firms are quoting us.
Yeah.
That's the fight we're talking about.
And it is, too, because we're doing it here with the state of Maine on the marijuana and cannabis aspect. And it's like, I think it was like 60 grand just for one session to fight this back. So, yeah, it's expensive. So anybody that's got a spare dime, now's the time to pitch it out there. I keep getting buzzes. Is that you? Oh, it's when my phone goes off. Sorry. Never mind.
Could be. Do you want me to hang on for a couple of questions, or you just want to take it?
Sure. Does anybody out there have any questions? I can see them pop up on my screen here and share them. And feel free.
I'll answer them. I don't much care what they are.
Cool. All right. Let me get this one here. All right. So Joanne Hunter, Dave, I don't know if you're watching or not, and says this is definitely a witch hunt. But I think most of us know that. How do you think? What's the reception that you're getting from the media that's actually paying attention? I mean, there's obviously a lack of media that want to get involved with this, because I've been in touch with quite a few of you, and Dave has, and everybody has. Very few. I mean, not enough. We need more attention on what this plant really is. It's a natural leaf.
We send out, anytime we see any article anywhere with negative aspect to Kratom, we send out what we call a rapid response pack. And that includes the 8-factor analysis, which I hope you guys know what that is. The letter from the 9 scientists, articles from several major publications. We don't let it go unanswered. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. We did a webinar recently for the National Council of State Legislators. And when we got done with it, we sent a copy of that webinar to 7,500 state legislators around the country. I mean, you got to push hard, and we're pushing hard. The media will just follow the lead of the quickest story they can get with the least amount of trouble. And the FDA and DEA print money, folks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, the first question is Brendan Howell says, what's the word on Tennessee and Kansas?
Kansas, we feel like there's a good opportunity to reverse what's going on out there. We've had a lobbyist on site for a while now. Some of that stuff's kind of sensitive. We don't want to out anybody. but there's a pretty good shot at being okay in Kansas. Tennessee right now is fascinating. We believe there's some negotiating that's going on that may be helpful. Again, not going to expose that because it exposes the legislators to what's going on behind it. The biggest problem that we've had in Tennessee is when the Attorney General came out with his statement, which made everybody feel that Kratom was legal, when in fact that's a legislative function, not the AG function. So we're in there fighting it. We now have actually lobbyists in 8 states that we're paying for. We've got another 2 or 3 that we're working with. BEA is actually working with us on one of those. We had a meeting at Champs in Las Vegas and decided to see if it was possible to collaborate, and we certainly hope it is.
Awesome. Dijon Evans, I hope I got that right. Do you have anything extra that we can do?
Well, we got a petition right now that's just frustrating as it could be. In this country, there's somewhere between 3 and 7 million people that take Kratom.
Right.
And we have a petition that has 28,000 signatures on it. And that might sound like a lot. And that's to Kellyanne Conway at the Opioid Commission, also Robert Patterson at DEA. But we think we need to get to the magic number of 50,000. And with that number in hand, Congress does listen when you have enough bulk. And we're trying to get congressional champions to fight for us with Gottlieb at FDA and Patterson at DEA.
Awesome.
Sign the petition is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sign the petition. And I'm sure somebody will put the link to the petition up there for us. On to the next question. Catch up here. Yay, thank you. We're working together. It says Darcy Butler. Brandon says, love hearing you. BEA are working together. Just reading off some comments. Looking for the next question. Who's next? Anybody? All right. Well, I don't want to keep you on the phone too late there, Dave. We got a ton of viewers, but not many questions. Oh.
No problem. I'm happy to share. We all do this for the same reason. And let me say flat out, there are very few people that could call me late in the evening and have me jump on something like this. For Derek Connors, I'll do it because he's a man of principle. You know, you may not always like what he says or how he says it, but it's always a deep belief from him, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, and I enjoy the conversations with you. You've given me insight and courage to keep handling, or passing courage on to other people, because that's what we need. We need to know what we're facing, what we need to do, and I appreciate you tremendously.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck to everybody, and we can do this. We just have to stand up and do it.
That's right. I'm not backing down. I'm not doing anything wrong. So on that note, we will talk to you tomorrow. Get to rest.
Hey, take care.
You too.
Thank you very much.
You too. Bye. Yeah, so that was Dave, the AKA. Been a lot going on for a lot of people the last few days. Yeah, I guess I better catch up. Oh, sorry, Veronica. What can you do in Alabama? Basically everything, continue what we've been doing. Contact your senators. This is a voting season, so get out there, make waves. You know what I mean? Politicians do not want to not have any voters. You know what I mean? Find out who you can vote for that stand with the same morals and principles and beliefs that you do, and I think you'll see some big changes. I mean, I know we went through a lot of trouble with the AKA. Issues. I mean, it wasn't like horrible or nothing like that, but they have evolved tremendously. They are a powerhouse, a big powerhouse. Yeah, Dave's a good guy, man. He really is. But we all just got to work together. It doesn't matter. I've been saying this. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white or rich or poor. You just got to spread the word. Same thing as being a Christian. You just got to spread the word, spread the love, spread the faith. This is a God-given plant, and I understand religion pushes a lot of people away, but God gave us this planet, and we need to protect it. It's our job to protect this planet. What they're doing to us is fucked up. Awesome. Thanks, Joan. Well, does anybody want to call in and bitch out anybody or anything like that? Telephone number is 207-669-8225. You're welcome, April. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you again soon. Pam, how are you? Beth, how's it going? Save Kratom. That's all we want. You know, and you got to look at where your money's going. You know, there's some good advocacy out there, and there's some that's just not where the money should be going. The money needs to be going where the money's going to make a friggin' difference. You know what I mean? You don't ever hear me ask for money. You don't ever hear me ask for donations. Once in a blue moon, you know, back in D.C., I asked for donations. I asked for people to show up. We pushed them back. Well, not just me. A lot of us did. You know, it was a group community thing. I say I too much. I apologize. There's no I in team. And I say that all the time, teamwork. And I'm not going to get into another big, long thing about teamwork and Genesis Farms with Freedom Field. You know, do your research on Freedom Field, please, and you'll understand exactly what it is we're doing here, okay? Please. Well, call in. I don't care. There will be a class action suit after the ban. Yeah, there's people waiting to do that. 207-669-8225. Now, just call in. Even if you wanted to give a testimony, you know, I'd like to keep it somewhat short, but, you know, we got to get that word out there. You know, I don't know. Call in. I mean, you got a bunch of viewers here. Nobody wants to call in. Are you guys in shock? It's not, you know, it's a lot to digest, I know. And, you know, it takes a lot, you know. It takes a team, so let's do this. Keep fighting. Right? You want me to throw on some music? Is it ringing? What's going on? Yep, there's a Washington State rally. Somebody call in. 207-669-8225. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. Oh, man. My nerves have been shot all day long, man. A bunch of stuff started happening when I was sitting here with Dennis. Dennis from Genesis Farms showed up, so we'd sign the contracts for the field. Stressful shit. Stressful. Just go ahead. 207-669-8225. I think I'm saying that right. Wow, that's loud.
You have a call from
Mary Ann.
press 1 to answer.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. How are you, Derek?
I'm hanging in there myself, trying to take a deep breath.
Can I ask you, if they do ban it, hopefully not, but if they do, will there be like a 30-day, will you have a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
Or is it just going to be all of a sudden?
No, we're going to know about it, man. There'll definitely be, it's going to be a fight. So it's going to take way more than 30 days. So, but I mean, it won't happen if everybody doesn't get involved and sit still. We need to do things.
Right.
It doesn't take, as you see, I can sit here comfortably. I've got a nice chair, and it takes just getting the word out. These get lots of shares. I've got, there's people that are watching that need to see not only this, but hear the testimonies of the people that use this plant. I don't want to get yelled at for saying a bunch of wrong things, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. I'm scared to say much myself.
Yeah. Well, I spent 5 years being scared. I'm not really scared, but being told this and that, and not what to say and what to do. I mean, but the fact of the matter is the FDA does not want Kratom here. They don't want Kratom here right now. Right now,
hell no. They're not making money. Yeah. I mean, they're all in bed together, so I'm going to shut up before I get started. I won't shut up. But I just wanted to thank you for all y'all do.
Well, thank you.
Y'all done a lot, and I don't have money to donate, but I can call people. I've been calling senators and everything. So if y'all need me to do anything else, just let me know.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. And I hope.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So like Dave said, it'll take a while. We have time, but we have to really concentrate our efforts and push. I go at it. My wife goes at it. We all go at it probably way too much. And it's really not fair that the government is putting us through this. I mean, I said it like 4 or 5 years ago, man, this is cruel and unusual punishment. Well, 5 years later, this is freaking cruel and unusual punishment to put people through this. I mean, there's upwards of 4 or 5 million people using this, and they're looking at this going, what the hell are we going to do? We finally found something that works. I can get out of bed. I can enjoy my life. I don't have to go to the doctors all the time. Who has the right to take that away from us? That's all I'm saying. Who has the right to take that away from us? All right. Anybody else want to call in? 207-669-8225. 28207. You guys are chatting it up down there. Come on. Don't be shy. Ooh. 53 calls and no one wants to call. You're all a bunch of chicken shits. I know why. Sorry. Yeah, not really. It's really, you just got to get over your fear and just do it. If I can do it, man, anybody can do it. Okay? Seriously. Yeah. Call in. Don't be shy. Ooh. I'm going to sing until you guys start calling in. How's that sound? I thought that would work pretty good. Oh, yeah, and they hang up.
You have a call from
Dion Evans.
Press 1 to answer the call.
How are you today, Miss Evans?
I'm doing good, thanks, Derek. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
I just wanted to say that last April 29th was my first time taking Kratom. Before that, I was bedridden for 10 years. Since Kratom, I've been able to stop taking 19 different medicines. I can get myself out of bed by myself. I can get into my wheelchair. I can reasonably take care of myself. I'm participating in life versus waiting to die. And I just implore everyone to get out there and do whatever, make as many calls, write letters, do everything you can.
Yeah, I mean, we're all human, and that's what they have to see is that not only are we human, but we're law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. At least the majority are. And I think that, if something like I said, what's going on right now is honestly, in my firm belief, is nothing but a huge witch hunt. Probably even some type of setup. Who freaking knows? You know, we have tons and tons of labs of vendors that absolutely nothing in it at all, except for, you know, nothing.
It's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does why they want Kratom gone. They're for drugs, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. I just take it to adjust somebody. Scott, you can call in and talk whatever about you want, buddy. It's not just about testimonies. It's about what the FDA, how you feel about what the FDA is doing to your civil rights. You know, you guys can call in and talk about anything really. Open forum. Shoot, why not? Sure. It's good. It's that night. It's going to be that type of month, that type of year. You know, so people are either going to be in it or they're not. You know, and if you're not, now's probably the time to help us out, anyways. And help us continue the fight. And we appreciate the help.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank you. All right. So, yeah, Scott, you going to call in, buddy? 207-669-8225. 207-669-8255. Memory sucks. Myself, I can't remember it, so I don't blame you guys at all. 207-669-8255.
Connected.
Disconnected. Try again. 8225. Well, I'm not much of a compositionalist by myself, so I mean, let's go. Thank you, Dan. Miss Evans. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If it really was one of these people that they're visiting, there'd be hundreds and thousands of outbreaks, and the stuff that happened, you know, they're asking for test results from back in September, you know, so there would be so many people sick if this was true, you know what I'm saying? And the list of stuff that they're demanding is astronomical, but if the vendors have the stuff together, then, you know, that's all I'm saying. Better have this, there is something floating around with the list of what the FDA is looking for, but I know I had a shop visited in Bangor a month or two ago or so, and he told them to go away. This is not your jurisdiction. You have nothing to do with Kratom. So back off, and they haven't been back since. Oh, whoops. Hello? Oh, yeah. We missed who it was. Could you repeat it? Oh, and I just hung up. Could you please call back? My mic was too close, and I hadn't hung up on you. Screwed up the call. Sorry about that. Give it another shot. I'm an amateur. I'm sorry. I'm learning. I was a carpenter for 30-something years. And a skateboarder and a freestyle biker. I used to love ramps and snow and everything. Come on. You can call back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you. Oops. Anyone know about this? It's trying to say like Kratom. I don't understand. My phone. I'll tell you what it is.
You have a call from
Scott.
press 1.
Good evening, Scott. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
I didn't see it. Did you see the first half of the podcast?
What's up?
Did you see the first half of the podcast? What's going on? What do you have to say about what's going on this evening?
Are we talking about the FDA stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, did they? I haven't got all caught up on this. So did they actually test the product that they confiscated?
As far as I know, there's only been a couple of conversations. Most of them they're not confiscating stuff. No, like I said, most people know what they're doing for the most part. I mean, if you're importing and you're not taking care of testing and stuff like that, then forget it. You know, but I don't know. I'm confident. I'm confident enough that the people that are being targeted at this have their stuff together, that everything's going to be okay in the long run. It's going to be tough, though. You know what I mean? These people are going to need backing. You know, people saying, "Hey, this is my plant. Leave it the hell alone." You know, and I just, you know, it's just BS is all it is. You know it is.
Yeah. Well, of course. Hasn't it always been?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've done this in the past.
I mean,
they've gone and confiscated stuff, but nobody really said anything. You know, everybody kept it hush hush. I think there was one major news outlet that put it out, and that was it. And you know, I think back then there was maybe a handful of us on Facebook, probably like 300 or 400 when it first started. You know, I don't know. It's just been crazy, dude. They just keep at it, and they don't need to. You know that, and they know that.
Yeah, they just seem hell bent on it if they're going like with this kind of crap. I mean, didn't they test the product though and see if it had salmonella in it?
No. What's going on is they have this big database that they watch and they search. So, and they can put keywords in it, and Kratom's one of it. And I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they searched. I could pull it up, I guess. It was on the FDA release, some type of computer search. Imagine that they're getting testimonies from people taking Kratom. And for some reason, these people, I guess, aren't actually contacting the vendors. They're contacting the FDA, or they're getting sent letters from the hospital to the FDA, and then the FDA goes and backtracks, you know, from like the hospital to the patient to where they purchased it. And you know, and they're not being nasty about it. They're being cordial. So they're doing their job, you know, apparently, because that's what, well, the CDC, this is so just messed up. There's so many different ways to spin it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I seriously doubt that, because like I said, if it was seriously salmonella poisoning, there'd be hundreds of thousands of people sick from just the ones that I know of alone that have been targeted. You know,
exactly.
There's no way that it doesn't work like that. Not on this dry powder that has absolutely zero moisture content in it. You know what I mean?
Well, somebody was telling, I think it was Jessica was telling me about they were trying to grow salmonella on it, were unsuccessful because of the antioxidant agents and all that kind of stuff, antibacterial agents,
right,
in the plant itself.
Right. Yeah. Well, somebody had some other science on that. If any of the listeners has that, go ahead and post it up there. It's true to a point, but then there's other conditions and things. I mean, it's like possible for it to happen, but like I said, if it did happen, it would, you know, you would know about it. But everybody responsible. It's being tested in Indonesia. It's being tested again when it gets here. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, they just need paperwork to back it up. They should be good.
Yep. Keep people safe. You know what I mean? So there's going to be there's options. There's one option for people to do really to keep ultimately safe, because they want a lot. They want to know a lot of stuff. So I mean, really, CGMP compliant package and product is really going to be probably the only way to go. And you know how we feel about that. You know, we like having providing the jobs for the community. I mean, it's crazy. It's still safe, but it's standards higher than most regular people can afford. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, you did make the point that I thought of right away. I'm like, why is there only that many with so many consumers?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there should be, at least hundreds and, at very least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you would think that you would know about it. And especially with our community being the way it is, you know, everybody's vocal. You know, if there was that much sickness going on, come on, man, it would be a nightmare. It'd be rumors, you know, rumors everywhere, rumors.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely would have heard something about that.
Yeah. Darcy says, are you looking at Facebook too?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to cut you short, see if there's anybody else, or unless you have anything else you want to say.
No. Just calling.
What do you think they should do? What do you think people should do?
Overall?
Yeah.
I just think testing, vast numbers, make it indisputable that most things can be in there. You know, make sure that they're not.
Right.
You know, I think to have a hard record on it would be the end game. You know.
Yeah, it seems to be the people that are porting straight from like Indo to I don't know what's going on. They need people just. I hope a lot of people paying attention. That's all I can say because it's a witch hunt big time. Seems to be isolated right now, but who knows? With everything
but still, at the same time, man, like you said, there'd be hundreds of cases.
Right.
There wouldn't just be that just few. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. You want to call in, Joe? All right. I got somebody else I'd like to have call in, so I'm going to cut you off here. But thanks for calling in, man. All
right.
Let's do it again sometime.
All right.
Thanks.
Cool.
Peace.
All right, Derek. Bye.
Jonah. Joanne. Can you call? You want to call in? James Denver's calling. All right, James, call 207-669-8225. Jonah, if you can do it afterwards, then go ahead. Or some other time. I don't like putting people on the spot. So, do you have the number, James? Scroll down. Oh, okay. You did great on the phone with me the other day. You know how easy I am to talk to. James, 207-669-8225.
You have a call from
James Devers.
I hung up on him. Call me back, buddy. I need an operator. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Sorry, buddy. Give me a call back, man. Don't mean to be wasting your time. I need like a sound guy, board guy, something. Come on down. You're the next contestant to be hung up on the Derek Connor Show.
You have a call from.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Derek, how you doing, bro?
Upright, taking nourishment.
I hear you.
Yeah. How's it going, man? Go ahead and
it's going pretty good.
What do you think all that's going on?
Well, you know me, I kind of got a different way of looking at it. I understand that, you know, CDC is trying to do their job. I mean, they really are trying to do their job, but they, because Kratom has been in the news so much lately, any federal agency, if they see the words Kratom come up on any reports, they're going to try to pin whatever they're talking about on Kratom, whether it's salmonella poisoning, whether it's death, car accidents. That's my biggest fear, is that I'm going to get in a car accident that's not even my fault. Someone else is going to run a stop sign, hit me, and they're going to find Kratom in my car, and they're going to blame that accident on the Kratom that was in my car when the accident was not my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. I've been doing a little more reading on what exactly the CDC's report said. I've been reading their reports, reading different articles and stuff about it. There's a lot of salmonella in those 20 states that they do not know what caused it yet. Out of those hundreds of cases, there are 28 cases that the people may have taken Kratom over the past few months. Now, they've only interviewed like either 8 or 11 of those people or something that the CDC's actually called and interviewed the people themselves. The rest of it was self-reporting in the hospital and stuff. And of course, CDC, they write down everything. You know, they're like, you know, what have you eaten over the past 3 days? Well, I ate a tuna fish sandwich. I ate chicken. I drank milk yesterday. And they keep going further and further back and just, you know, trying, you know, anything you could remember that you've eaten. And 28 people said they've taken Kratom over the past few months. That doesn't mean Kratom's caused it. And the way they've worded it, they're not really blaming Kratom.
Yeah, it sounds more like 28. It sounds more like 28 of our Kratom enthusiasts got sick with salmonella poisoning from eggs or something. But how do they isolate it with Kratom? I mean, come on.
Yeah, and the way they're wording it, it's not really that they're saying that the Kratom caused it. Now, the FDA has grabbed a hold of that. Mm-hmm. And they're saying,
they said we're working in conjunction together. We're working in conjunction with the CDC to find the source. What kind of shit is that?
They jump in and now they're trying to find the source of it. So I don't really pin the blame of this little fiasco so much on the CDC, because this really is that's why they was created. You know, they were created to find disease and find the sources of disease in order to protect us. I mean, they're the ones that was going over fighting the Ebola a few years ago. You know, so they're kind of doing their job. The FDA is just on a witch hunt against Kratom right now. And they're the ones really that is to blame. And we've had this conversation before through Facebook, and I think on the phone before, where FDA is really the ones that were forcing the DEA in 2016 to attack Kratom. And they're the ones that were trying to force the FDA to do the emergency ban on Kratom, if you remember. Yeah. So that's kind of where our fight is. Everything that the CDC's done so far, they've done it by the book, except for the news release. Most of the time, they'll give you a list of things that could be the problem, and it's the thing that most people have consumed. So if they've got, 500 cases of salmonella and 450 of those people have eaten romaine lettuce, they're going to put out a press release that says, hey, we've got 500 cases of salmonella. 450 of these people have eaten romaine lettuce that came from this state, this farm. It was harvested on this day, sold in these stores. So we would advise nobody eating romaine lettuce for a few days. We'll tell you for sure if that's what it is as soon as we're done with our test results.
Right.
They don't take 500 people and say, 28 of those people have drank milk from Horizon Farms in Slocum, Alabama. You all don't drink Horizon milk from Slocum, Alabama, because there's only 28 people out of 500. That's not what caused salmonella in 500 people. So the way they did that was a little bit well, not a little bit. It was totally irresponsible. The FDA grabbing a hold of it was totally irresponsible. They shouldn't be going around trying to close businesses down, trying to seize products, stuff like that. They shouldn't be doing that. That's total bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree. They don't have jurisdiction, man. Well, I mean, unless, I don't know. They get so many loopholes that you have to try and figure out and jump through. And I mean, literally, ask my wife, anybody around me, 60, 70 hours, 90 hours a week, easily, if not more, of studying and everything to do with this. And it's never ending. You can't get an honest answer from anybody. I mean, the FDA, you call them and they're like, oh, well, we don't do anything with Kratom. We don't want anything to do with it. They actually refunded my application money one time, so they don't want anything to fucking do with Kratom. They don't. That's the problem. That's the problem. They don't want it. So, I mean, yeah, but we have to have some sort of regulation. If not, I'm not saying regulation as in regulation, but we have to show that we're caring for our customers. And the only way to do that is to, package like at least somewhat of a standard. I don't know, man. It's so messed up. It's a ghost hunt. I don't want to lay down. I'm not laying down. It's like no way. But at the same time, how far do you go before you get pushed over too far? You know what I mean? Because these guys are a lot bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking that. But we're huge. If we get the community together and get the word out there, get the proper people know, because obviously mainstream media is not going to touch this with this positive note. That's obvious, man. I've contacted a lot of mainstream media, not only me, but people with the AKA, you guys, everybody, and they're just not doing it. And how can so many of us be benefiting from this, but nobody wants to hear us? Or
well, there's a reason for that too. There are a lot of us in this community. I think the last estimate was between the low number is about 3 million is the low number, but surveys and stuff through some vendors puts the number closer to 10 million people. So between 3 and 10 million people. I mean, we got a ton of people in this community, but when you consider there's 330 million people in the country, it's a really small number, but it's still a huge amount of people if we can get active. And I think part of the problem is that our Facebook community is so small. If you add up all the Facebook groups, we've got less than 100,000 people in all of the Facebook groups, because we have a lot of people that are in 2 or 3 different groups, or 10 or 15 or whatever different groups. So less than 100,000 of those 3 to 10 million people are actually actively in a Facebook group. The rest of them buy their Kratom from a health food store or a head shop, or they buy it from you online, but they're not part of Facebook. They just don't have a Facebook page, which is really odd. But we need to get the rest of our community in this fight and get it active and stuff. I mean, you've talked about stuff like that before as well. Getting people more active in the community. But I'll tell you, I think that vendors like you, Stacy, Justin, Joshua, all of you all are doing what needs to be done to actually keep Kratom legal. The community, there's so much that we can do as consumers. We can send in letters. We can call senators and congressmen. We can go meet with our representatives, because they're everyday people like us. Our representatives live right down the road from us. We can go and do that stuff. And any regulation that's going to be passed, or any bans that's going to be passed, us as a community, the consumers, can slow that down. But we've talked about this too. Overall, in order to keep the Kratom legal, it's going to take people like you doing what you're already doing. Doing the testing, steadily improving, like you and Veronica has been steadily improving your operations since y'all opened up. And people like you all are what you say.
Now, see, I got to put it out there. I don't own Taunton Bay. Okay, I work here. I collect the
paycheck. Well, you work there. You work. I mean, you help out. You work there.
Right.
I don't think Veronica could keep you around if you wasn't working, helping out a little bit.
Right. I sit on my ass all day, actually, but no.
But yeah, it's y'all are the ones that's gonna keep it legal, and honestly, that's why I only buy from people like you, because you all are the ones that are going to keep it legal. Now, honestly, and everybody goes through this. Yeah, we can get it cheaper from somebody that's going to, package it out of their kitchen, and they buy it directly from Indonesia for $30 a kilo or whatever. It's cheaper that way. But first, I don't know what the heck I'm putting in my body, and that's not good.
Right.
And that is what's going to get this stuff banned for good, because the FDA is not going to allow a product to come over, be sold to U.S. consumers that's going to put them in danger. They even shut down drugs from pharmaceutical companies that are going to put people in danger.
Yeah.
And they're getting, and the pharmaceutical companies pay billions of dollars a year in taxes.
Right.
They pay billions of dollars a year for lobbyists.
Yeah.
The head of the FDA has always been a representative from the pharmaceutical industry. So when they shut down a drug that's bad and going to harm people, they'll shut down a herb that no pharmaceutical company's making money on. So that's kind of something else we need to do as a community, is to support vendors that are doing testing, that do have clean rooms, that are doing it right. Even though it does cost a little bit more money for us and a ton more money for you all, that's what we need to do as a community, and support you all. And I hope there's enough people online right now listening to this to actually hear me saying that. Anyone that's buying from a guy selling out of his kitchen is going to be the reason why Kratom is banned.
Right.
If it ever is. Yeah. They are going to be solely responsible for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've been saying that for 5 years since I've been aboard, and I know there's a lot before me that have been here for a while that, have been saying the same thing. It's got to stop. It's got to come to an end, and the only way it's going to do it, and maybe that's what, I don't know. It's nuts. It really is. They need to back off.
It is.
Not only does the FDA need to back off, but people need to smarten up too. Really.
They do. Yeah. They do.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was guilty of importing myself when I had DAC. I wasn't doing it right. And when I was told I was doing it right by the Indonesians, oh, you got to do this, you got to get that, you got to do this. But no, I wasn't doing it right. Not at all. That's why we do it the way we do it now. Because when I went in with DAC, and even when my wife came on, my goal was to do everything right, the best I can, all the time. You know what I mean? Because nobody arrives perfect. Nobody, there are some well-established people that do have generations of money handed down to them, or however it may be. They worked hard from it, but that type of money really isn't here in the Kratom community, or else we'd have the $8 million to do testing and everything. It's in these type of facilities. You ask Norman and Veronica, it's not, and ours is nothing compared to, the areas where the Kratom actually comes into. It's nuts. Those guys are spending millions of dollars to keep all you guys safe, basically. And it's good. I'm not saying that it's like a bad thing, but it's a raw product that does need to be handled with care, okay? But there's also overdoing it a little bit too much, you know what I mean? But hey, when you're handling quantities like that, then yeah, everything's got to be well. And what I worry about, what my personal worry about with people shipping in from Indo is, man, you do get somebody who's being sneaky over there, you know, I don't want to put out a big scare, but, you know, we just got to use our heads, man. These days and times, you never know what's going to happen. You always have to be on the lookout. You got to be looking 30 steps ahead and definitely looking behind, but not going to the past.
Yep, you're right about that. You're going to be doing this once a week, once a month, your show here?
Yeah, I'm hard at scheduling and having schedules, but I think I will be doing this once a week. At least it will be depending, I guess, on updates. If there's other updates, I'll come on live instantly. I'm set up where I can go live at the drop of a heartbeat, really. Well, unless I'm home, then I can't. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so probably Mondays anyway. So I think that'll work last time, wouldn't we? I'll let you know. See what happens. Just so much.
All right, that'll work.
So much taken in with this in the Freedom Field and spread thin. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want to make promises I can't.
What about that? What about that festival?
Yeah, I mean, the Freedom Field is where it's at. The Freedom Field was designed in 1998 or 1999 specifically for this reason, this cause. I mean, it wasn't about Kratom at the time, but it was about cannabis. And it's Kratom Festival 2018 in Harmony, Maine. Doing it in honor of a great man, Donnie. He's passing the torch to Dennis of Genesis Farm. And Dennis has just embraced me and, you know, guidance, and we're going to do teamwork on this, and we're just going to go forth with it. You know, not only, you know, it's not the Freedom Field obviously isn't just for Kratom, because it is a medical marijuana facility type of deal. You know, we spread the truth about cannabis and to everybody. You know, it's a family event, family field. You know, we're going to make it good. It's going to be a good time. It's August 10th, 11th, and 12th. Like I said, family friendly. I'm finding out about dogs. I meant to ask Dennis about the dogs tonight, and I forgot. It was, well, I felt bad for him. He come out here so he could deal with this thing, and my phone was ringing off the hook from people that are out there dealing with this friggin' what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Information
overload.
Yeah. So yeah, keep us posted on that the Kratom Festival. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be huge.
Kratom Fest event page on Facebook. If somebody wants to share it here, please go ahead. They're trying to get it worked out so I can have a grand release on Wednesday, but we'll see. It's not until August, so I guess the grand release date doesn't really matter. But as soon as we can start showing profit off it, the money can start going to legality. So, and not profit. The field cost me a certain amount of money. I can't release how much the money amount because that's not the amount that's going to be charged per regular event where we are sponsoring the field for the year. So, but as you know, I'm transparent as hell. Anybody ever wants to see what I'm paying for that, and then who I send the money to, then more welcome. But I'm not asking for donations. I just want people to be able to get to the field and show the world that people of all ages, specifically. I mean, we have people. A majority of our customers are, you know, upwards of. We have some that are 89, I think. How old is Pastor? Pastor, I think it was like 82 or 83, maybe even older. But yeah, we have, you know, there's a wide variety of people. It blows my mind, some of the people that walk through these doors. It's like, wow, really? You know, praise God. You know, it's helping a lot of people. And everybody that comes through that door says the same thing. I can't believe that they're making such a fuss about this. Because you don't get high, you know what I mean? I just took 3 grams at the beginning of this, however long I've been on, and you know?
Yep.
So yeah, you got anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. I just had to rant for a little bit against the government.
I appreciate it, man. This is what it is about. And if anybody else wants to call in and do that, please do. James, you have a good evening.
All right, you too, bud. Talk to you later.
Bye. Yeah, so there we have it. We stand firm. Next caller. We still got quite a few people there. Anybody else willing to chat? I still got some life into me. I know I'm not going to be able to sleep very well tonight, so thank you very much, Marcy. Hey, Tracy, how's it going? 207-546-1910. 207-19. Oh, what did I just say? 69. 825. Don't make me start singing, please. I thought I said, I was like, I don't know. 8275309-675-309. Got it. All right, so who's calling? Don't be shy. They can't see your face. I'm the one who had to get over that fear. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. Somebody had to do it, though. What's going on? We can make it short, you know. You don't have to be on all night. I don't. Oh, don't. 207-669-225. Man, oh man. 8255. Good Lord. I suck at this. Should hang it up. Again. I'm blind as a bat, so you have to forgive me. All right. There we go. What's going on, Rob? How's it going? I guess I could go down and check on what everybody's saying. Jessica, you want to call in? I'm going to start calling people out, and I believe I do have some of y'all numbers. So, let's see. Who can I call? Should I pick somebody to call on? Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate everything you're doing, dear. Did I do it wrong again? 207-669-8225. No, I got it right. All right, so come on, Jessica, call in. Don't be shy. Get him fast. Rob, Tracy, Steve, buddy, call in, man. You've known me for a long time. You can call in. You shouldn't be scared to talk to me. Scat. You're a scat. Yeah. Come on. Dum, 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 dum. This is the sound of the man. Looking at his Facebook. I'm going to call Darcy, I think. Josh, man, how you doing, brother? You still out there? You want to call in? Brandon, you want to call in? Anybody? Anybody out there? Can you hear me? All right. Well, I'm not prepared to talk by myself, so sit here, drink my coffee. Honey, why don't you call in? Is Edward sleeping, I hope? I'm sure everybody would love to hear your beautiful voice. You have some very, very good things to say. Come on. I'm going to stop beatboxing. That's what I'll do. No, because then I'll just lose everybody. I love your voice, and you know that. So get your butt on the phone. Let's go. Somebody, anybody. Jessica, somebody. That was loud. We have.
You have a call from
Adrian.
Press 1 to answer the call.
Good evening, my brother from another mother. How are you? Hey there? Hello? Oh, damn it. I suck at this. Call me back, Adrian. Damn it. Make mistakes, right? I won't laugh at Adrian because it's late and he's probably getting out of bed to call in, so. I can't help it. I need another piece of machinery. I'm sorry.
You have a call from
Adrian.
press 1 to answer.
Hey, brother, how are you? Sorry about that.
Good. No, it's all right. Didn't want to leave you hanging on the air.
Didn't what?
I said I didn't want to leave you hanging on the airways.
Oh, okay. All right. So how are you doing this evening, brother?
I'm good. So this is my quick thought for tonight. I typed it out, but, you know, we got articles coming out almost daily from different agencies on platforms such as Google and Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way we're going to beat this, because they're putting out disinformation. So we need to get out there and put out accurate information, because just a few people I've turned on to Kratom in the last 2 months, they've been coming to me because they're reading those articles and, you know, questioning the information. And we're doing a good job of preaching to our own communities, but I'm just wondering what angles are being taken to get out to the rest of the world. Because psychological warfare through news is how things are won and lost.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's power of the people starts with us. You know what I mean? And the only way people are going to know about it is if you talk about it. And I've been saying that from day one. You know, you just got to get over that fear. I have huge social anxiety, man. I still, you know, out of habit, sit with my back to the wall at a restaurant, you know, but I'm getting over it, working on it, you know. And you do amazing too, getting out there, you know, just everything that you've been through. You put your family out there, you know, and that you're a U.S. veteran, you know. I don't know how many. I still got 38 people listening right now live, and I'm sure a few more will hear it. You know, there's real people like you that need to stand up, and not just stand up to sign a petition either. Stand up and go talk to somebody. If you know somebody, say, hey, there's somebody I'd like you to talk to, or there's something I'd like you to see or hear, read this, or, you know, you don't even be like, hey, do you know what Kratom is? You know, but there's people that can handle it. You know, just help us out.
Right.
You know, we don't expect you to, you know, go ahead.
Well, you know, I just look for opportunities, and I think we all should, and I think a lot of people are as well. You know, just case in point, my realtor a couple weeks ago, his wife wound up breaking her tailbone, and of course is getting on the opioid train. And I just said, hey, have you ever heard of Kratom? And he said, no, I don't even know what that is. And I said, well, if you're interested, I'd love to talk to you about it. And I took that information pack that Tom Bay put out, and I said, here, let me text this to you. And after you read it, if you have any questions, hit me up. And if you like some samples, I'd be glad to give you some so your wife can try it. Now, a couple weeks later, he's telling me he's so amazed at how effective it's been for her pain control. And she's supposed to be calling me tomorrow with the updated report. But he's told me that she's been able to get off the opioids that she's been on for 3 weeks now and still be able to manage and control her pain. So I think it's just little things like that. If we all do that collectively, you know, that's a start in the right direction.
Right.
And I know we got to have some writers in the community that do blogs and have some type of following, or, you know, like I said, it seems like a lot of the information is talking to people who already support it. Right. And we need to start finding out the resources in the community that can broaden that information source to the general public. Because all they're reading is, you know, when you sign on to Google, on the news story of the day pops up, if you show the interest of Kratom, of course, any negative article about Kratom is what we're seeing.
Right. Yeah, and it is too. I mean, there was an article released today in the Washington Post by a gentleman that's on my wall, and it wasn't even a professional writer. It was a letter to the editor that was done very well, and it got quite a few. I think I posted it someplace. It should be on my wall down on a couple posts. If somebody wants to put that link up there. That's just an example of the articles that we're asking people to write. I think like 2 or 3 posts down. I don't know. Yeah.
So that's one great way, when a negative article does come out, that for people that are really into writing letters or blogs or storytelling, if they contact that editor and send, their story, I think that would help start to get more widespread media attention in a positive light to the plant.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who are watching that unaware of what really is going on, earlier in the day, earlier in the show, I should say, we had Dave Herman with the AK on. Over the last few days, there's been quite a few vendors that have been visited by the FDA. There's only been a couple, I think 1, maybe 2 seizures. They left and they're coming back. Nobody really knows what they're coming back for other than the list that they gave them of compliance issues. Well, not really even compliance, just traceable. They want to be able to trace the source of the product. So, but my theory is if they're tracing the source of the Salmonella scare, then why so many different vendors? Because a lot of them don't even work together. So, what I mean? It's not like you can connect the dots or anything like that. But it is definitely to Colorado, which is weird. So, I don't know. Just it feels like this is the beginning of something wild. It's going to be wild.
And it's interesting that it's starting here in Denver, especially with medical marijuana being legalized and, recreational. And it's like they're looking for some other source to focus their attention on right now. And I think you had mentioned it either today or yesterday about, no matter who your vendor is, as a consumer, we have a responsibility to make sure where we're buying the product from and our vendors are doing it on the up and up and they're legitimate. So instead of being concerned about, I saved $5 on a kilo or I saved 10%, I got a coupon code, let me contact them and verify that they're doing this legitimately and they're, working within the confines of making sure it's safely regulated for all the consumer community.
Yep. I mean, we have to. The best we can do is show them that we give a shit, and is striving to, comply somewhat. I hate even to say that word because I've always been, you can't touch my shit no matter what. You know what I mean? That's how I am. But we have such a generational crowd of people that bring class and style to it. They kind of want to bring a little class and style to keeping it legal, and it's an amazing. What's going on is amazing, and I really think that once people see it, they will embrace it, and everything's going to be fine. Is my honest feeling, my honest hope. But it's still not. I still get stressed out a little bit dealing with this shit every day for 5 years.
Well, I agree, and I believe in that outcome as well. I think we as a community are responsible to get the word out in a positive and factual manner, because the general populace, when I talk to people about it, like my realtor a few weeks ago, for example, they just had no idea. They didn't understand it. All they knew was what they'd been reading, on what's the negative side of what's being put out. Once I shared my own personal story, shared the information that I have access to, shared some other people's story with their permission, then they became willing to try it. So my focus is on reaching out to disabled veterans such as myself who are tired of jumping on the medication train from the VA. You could walk into the VA and I could go there tomorrow and get 3 or 4 prescriptions for a variety of things if I wanted to. But I've already been down that road and we know it doesn't work. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's absolutely nuts, man. And we do got a lot of veterans. I just hope everybody starts standing up. It's amazing the amount of people we have. I'm just hoping people start standing up. It's driving me nuts, to be honest with you, but whatever.
They can do that at their medical appointments. Anytime I go to physical therapy, I start talking to my therapist about it. I start talking to other patients in the room about it. Just anybody I hear say, oh, I'm dealing with this pain, or I'm tired of medication. I could be in a grocery store, in a pharmacy area. Oh, have you looked into trying Kratom, this amazing plant? This is what it's done for me. They may or may not try it, but at least that's my way to start spreading the word. And I think if we all started doing that, because a lot of us are going to hospitals and, we're going to talk to people in the medical community, and we're in waiting rooms with other patients. I think that's a great start.
Yeah, I mean, talking to your doctors, I have two doctors. I have one that will definitely speak at the I'm gonna have to take a break from the air here for a minute and go stretch my legs and get some nicotine in my body. Yeah, she's gonna speak at this festival, and then hopefully another one will give some speeches on her industry insider information with the supplements. We've got a lot of information coming to this. Like I said, it's not going to be a drop down rowdy festival. It's going to be a family educational event where hopefully everybody can be educated outside of the event too. We got to do this, man. We got to do it right. And I've got some pretty decent people coming too. So
I'm sure you're getting some media outlets in there.
Yeah, trying, but just problem is a lot of the bigger ones, they're all not funded, but they get paid commercial money from Big Pharma and all that. And you would sit there and watch regular TV, 90% of the ads are pharmaceutical ads. You know what I mean? They don't want to put us on there with that. They can't. They dropped it. They'd lose their commercials if they started supporting us.
Well, I agree. The conflict of interest. If you take this medication, it could cause suicide, homicide, damage your liver or kidneys, or make you go blind. But other than that, it's safe.
Yeah, it must be nice to get paid so much not to have balls. I make $470 a week, so I don't know what the hell they're living on.
All right, well, you have a good night.
You too, brother.
I'll try to go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
I like your gold headphones, by the way.
Okay. Easy. UFOs.
I wish I had some styling.
They actually they got 8 drivers in them. They sound really good. Really good. UFOs. Look them up. All right, buddy. They're affordable. $80. Right. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good night.
You too. Night. All right, Jessica. I look up and you said something about explosive diarrhea. Uh-oh. What's going on, honey? Okay. Am I missing something, Veronica? All right. Who's next? Jessica, come on down. Veronica, come on. Probably not. Let's go. I'm going to start calling people. Stacy, you can chat her. All right. Well, I'm probably going to jump off so I can go have a cigarette. If y'all want me to come back on later, I will. If not, peace.